Well, it is that time of the year where many of us choose to reflect on the year past and look forward to the year that is coming up. It is the end of 2018, 2019 is right around the corner. Tonight is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow, when many of you are watching this, will be New Year's Day. So I thought I would take a moment and kind of review where we've been in the last year, both as a YouTube channel, where I've been as a blacksmith, things that have occurred that I never anticipated, goals that were successfully met, goals that were not successfully met, and then I thought I would share some of my goals, both in the shop and for the YouTube channel. Now, it is certainly no secret that 2018 started off on kind of a negative note because I had injured myself in November of 2017. So at this point, 1 year ago, I really was doing very little in the shop. We were making a few simple videos because I could do some simple work, but I wasn't really producing customer orders. And as a result, I was quite far behind on customer orders. And since I got back to work very slowly and didn't really get back in the swing of things like I had hoped, I continued to get further behind. So one of my biggest goals for 2018 was to catch up on all those back orders. Now, this is one of those kind of nebulous goals that you change over and over and over again, because initially I thought by the end of May, I'm going to have those orders caught up. Then it was sort of, maybe by August I'll have those orders caught up. Maybe by October I'll have those orders caught up. Then I hope maybe by Thanksgiving I'd have those orders caught up. Then finally it was maybe by Christmas I'll have those orders caught up. And you know what? I made that goal. 1 week ago today is when I mailed out the last of the back orders. Now I have a few other orders since then, but those are orders that are only 2, 3, 4 weeks old that I have taken knowing that I was caught up on the back orders. We looked at making the acorn chest handles the other day. That's one of those orders. That's from the end of November. And it shipped out this morning, so it's all taken care of. I think really I have one order, and it's only 2 weeks old. And I'll probably finish it tomorrow or the next day and get it out. But that doesn't mean that I'll be without work. There's still plenty of things to do. As part of catching up on the back orders, I set up a waitlist system. And this is an online service that I shouldn't have to worry about. People sign up on the waitlist. When I'm ready to take an order, I see who's number one. I send them an email, say, if you're still interested in something, let me know what you want. Then we make the arrangements for the sale. Currently, there are about 80 people signed up on the wait list, so there is no lack of work to do here in the shop. I have plenty of potential customer orders. It's just none of it is immediately pending because I have not yet agreed to take that order and I have not taken any money on the order, so it is a much lower stress system. I hope in the long run it pans out and it works well. But that also gives me the freedom to spend the next few weeks working on just product, both things that I'll put on the Etsy shop and things to take to shows. I have 1 or 2 more shows that I would like to do this season. There'll be hand tool woodworking shows primarily, and so I need to make things like holdfast, froze, axes, adzes, all that kind of stuff, and I really need to get busy on that. So because the waitlist people have not actually paid for an order or finalized an order, I feel like I've got the freedom to do that without feeling like I'm putting them off or not fulfilling my responsibility to those people. That also gives me the freedom to work on YouTube videos without feeling guilty about putting off people who have already paid for their order. So in the long run, I think this is going to be really good both for the shop, my peace of mind, and for the YouTube channel. Now, one of the biggest events, one of the biggest surprises in the year of 2018 was losing the bowl air hammer. The bowl hammer had been a real workhorse in the shop. I relied on it a great deal. It quit working in July. Here it is December, and I still haven't got the parts back for it. For that matter, I no longer have the hammer. The gentleman who bought it has picked it up, and he is going to do the research to get it back up in running order. And if I ever get the parts, I'll send it to him, and hopefully he'll have a use for them. And while that was another low point in the productivity here in the shop, it was also one of the biggest high points of the year because I finally bit the bullet and bought the hammer I always wished I had, which is this new Samac 60 kilogram self-contained air hammer. As a result of buying the new air hammer, we also had to add on to the shop, and we saw some videos of doing the shop edition and moving the hammer in and doing all of that stuff. And it was really quite the big event for a month or so while we got ready for the hammer, got the hammer in, learned how to use the hammer, and it was worth every second of it. It was worth every penny of it. This hammer has really increased my production, and it's the reason that I think I'll be ready for the upcoming shows that I need to do with only about 3 or 4 weeks to prepare. Now, as far as the YouTube channel goes, we have made lots of videos. Now, I had a personal goal for the YouTube channel. It was something that I never shared with anybody else. It was really quite irrelevant in the long run, but it was a goal that I had set for myself, and that was to bring the total number of videos on this channel up to 500 published videos by tonight. And with this video, I think we make that goal. Now, what does that really mean? It doesn't really mean a lot. There's no magic thing that happens when you get 500 posted videos. And of course, a lot of the early videos didn't have anything to do with blacksmithing or were really horrible blacksmithing videos that aren't worth your trouble to go back and watch. But nevertheless, it was simply a goal. It was something to motivate me, something to keep me making videos and not say, nah, I just don't feel like it today. And with that in mind, I think it really worked. Does that benefit the channel? I think it really does, and I think it benefits me as a YouTube creator. I am reminded of a story about a ceramics class where the instructor divided the class into two groups. The first group was to be graded only on the quality of their work. They only had to produce one piece, but it had to be of their absolute best quality. That's all they had to worry about all semester, just one piece, and it had to be as perfect as they could make it. The other half of the class was graded on quantity, and they had to produce as much as they could. It didn't matter if it was good, didn't matter if it was bad, ugly, useless, whatever. They just had to produce. Now, at the end of the semester, when grading time came, the quality group all had one pretty nice piece. The quantity group, on the other hand, had a lot of stuff that they did early on in the semester that wasn't very good, but their work improved as they did more and more of it. The sheer repetition meant that the quantity group had actually ended up making better pieces of higher quality at the end of the semester than the group that was only being graded on the one piece. And I think that applies both to YouTube and blacksmithing. If you want to learn to make S-hooks, don't just take a week and make a single S-hook as perfect as you can make it. Take a week and make hundreds of S-hooks. By the time you are done, you will have developed skills that will carry on throughout your blacksmithing. If you want to learn how to make leaves, make hundreds of leaves, and you will develop the skills to make leaves, and every leaf will be better than the one before it. Quantity does improve quality. Now, I'd like to think that here on the YouTube channel, that this year we never did any videos that were just horrible, although there were some that were really not as good as I would have liked. They were experimental, trying different equipment, different ideas, different techniques. And your input as viewers helps me learn from those things. So I think the sheer repetition, the sheer quantity of videos that I did this year has really helped me be a better video maker. Now, I still have a long way to go. There are lots of things that I still need to perfect, especially when it comes to the editing software. The software I'm using is Premiere Pro, and it will do so much more than I know how to do on it. But just sitting down in front of that once or twice a day to edit a video has really made a difference in my ability to use it. And if I keep it up next year, I will be even better at it. Now, what did that 500 number really mean for 2018? A little bit more than one video a day on the average. That meant if I missed a day or took a vacation and missed a whole week, that I had to make those up. So there were some days that I was filming 2 or 3 videos, but short videos. And with the help of doing the Tool of the Day series, where we just looked at all of the different variety of tools that are available in a blacksmith shop, by doing these simple projects for the countdown to Christmas, I was able to do those repetitive videos, really get the quantity of videos I was after, which gave me a lot more experience and really developed my skills. And I hope you folks out there have noticed that my skills are getting a little bit better. I'm a little bit less likely to forget to charge the batteries overnight or forget to turn on the microphone, although some of that still happens. We made numerous sets of tongs, lots of punches and chisels and other tooling and other handheld tooling. We looked at guillotine tools. We looked at lots of things that we made in the last year. Between making tools and making finished products, we looked at a lot of things in the last year. We've amassed quite a video library. Like I say, there's 500 published videos now, and most of those videos have good blacksmithing content. Even the earlier ones that are a little rough and the sound was a little bit fuzzy or the cameras weren't in focus or the lighting was bad, there is still some good information to be learned. So I strongly encourage you to take some time and look at some of those other videos. Now, what does that mean as we move forward for 2019? Well, certainly I have hopes and I have goals for the shop. I'm going to stop a little bit short about making New Year's resolutions as far as this stuff goes, because we all know those resolutions usually don't really mean anything in the long run. But what are my hopes and goals, both for the shop and for the YouTube channel as we look forward to 2019? Now, as far as running my business as a blacksmith, my number one goal is to never get as far behind as I got last year. I was over 100 orders behind at one point. By using the wait list and only taking orders from those people on the wait list as I can fill them, I don't plan to ever take more than 5, maybe 10 orders if they're all related. If I've got 10 people in a row that all want the same item, I might take all 10 orders. But if the first item is going to take me 2 weeks to complete, I'm not going to take the second order until I get that first item complete, and I'll just play that by ear. So hopefully there is no way I can get that far behind again. By doing that, I am also hoping that it allows me the freedom to explore new things that I've always wanted to make, but because the customer demand was for the things I already make, I never got a chance to try that. There are other styles of axes, specifically some of the Scandinavian socketed carpenter's axes. I've always wanted to make one of those, and I may not make a lot, but hopefully you can join me here on YouTube as I explore that at some point this year. So I hope to be able to get back into making things like woodworking chisels, draw knives, Sloyd carving knives, spoon knives, things like that for the green woodworkers. All things that I like to make, things that I want to be good at, but I've just never had the time to really develop my skills or develop my tooling and technique to the point that I can afford to make them as a for sale item. Of course, I'd like to bring you as the YouTube viewers along as I explore some of those options. Now, before the new power hammer went in and required us to push this back wall out, I had a lot of tools that were stored on this wall all across this beam. And now I can't do that because I need to walk under here. So this wall back here is now largely blank. I've got a little tong rack back here, but there's lots of blank space here for some more hammer racks. And that's one of my goals for this year, is a little bit better organization on some of the tooling to get some tool racks up. And I think that would also make some good videos, which won't necessarily be the end-all be-all of tool racks, but it might give you some ideas. And I think as long as we're doing that, I might also explore some fancier tool racks that are maybe all forged and don't require any modern welding, both for people who are not interested in just fabricating tools for the shop, but for the people who don't have that modern welding equipment in their shop. Even though my plan is to keep the vast majority of the videos relatively basic, using primarily forge, hammer, and anvil, we will certainly see a lot more of the new power hammer and projects that are more specific to the power hammer, including power hammer tooling and some special saddle dies, things like that for the power hammer. We can expect to see more of the other big tools in the shop, things like the hydraulic press, the little giant power hammer, the treadle hammer, and of course, the fly press. Now, I know a lot of you don't have this bigger tooling available, but there are enough people out there that either have it or they're thinking about getting bigger tooling. So I do believe that it's worth showing more and more of the big tools and the big equipment in the videos, but don't expect them to become the primary focus. Those will be the occasional videos, maybe 2 or 3 of those a month, whereas most of what I want to do will still take place at the anvil. Now, as I commented earlier, 2018 was about improving quality through quantity. For 2019, I'm hoping to work a little bit more on just the quality of the videos. I'm hoping to do more multi-camera work and may add a few more cameras to what I'm doing. Hopefully I'll get the Sony Handycam back, which was the camera that has filmed the vast majority of the videos that you see here on YouTube. Right now I'm using a Canon mirrorless camera as my backup camera, and I have the little Sony Action Cam we use occasionally. But I'm hoping to be able to do enough multi-camera work and get better at editing the multi-camera shots so we can get more views and more perspective on what's going on without having to stop the action and relocate a camera every time. And hopefully that will make things go a little bit smoother and a little bit more seamless so it all makes more sense. I'm also hoping to add some better lighting for the videos. These little lights that I'm using aren't too bad, but for one thing, they are on stands so that they're portable, and the stands tend to be in the way and are kind of a trip hazard in the shop. The other day I stepped on one of the stands and managed to bend up a leg and had to spend some time straightening it, so they can be kind of a nuisance. So I'm hoping to put some overhead mounts in and get some better lighting. But of course that will depend on the financial viability of being able to afford better lighting. At some point I would like to add a better camera to the production. This Canon camera isn't bad. It's a pretty decent camera, but it's not really ideal for what I do here in the shop, I don't think. And the Sony video camera is a little limited because it doesn't have a very big sensor. They have some very nice cameras out there now, and I'm looking at a higher-end Canon consumer-grade camera, which starts to cross the line from consumer technology to professional technology and has a full 1-inch sensor. But that's a relatively expensive camera, so I don't expect to do that very soon. We'll simply see how the YouTube channel goes. But as I concentrate more on simply improving the quality of the videos, it means I'll have to spend a little bit more time with each video. And that means I may not make as many videos this year. In fact, certainly I will not make as many videos. Last year's goal was more than one video a day on the average, and that is just not a pace I can keep up. I need a little bit of a break from making videos sometimes. My goal for 2019, as it stands today, and of course goals change and get modified and adjusted, but right now I'm thinking of perhaps 20 videos a month. So that'd be 5 days a week on the average that I'll produce a video, and I get 2 days a week off from producing videos that way. But to be completely honest, a lot of that will depend on the financial aspect of YouTube. And I always hate talking about the financial side, but I think it's only fair to be honest and open about it. I spent 27 years as a professional firefighter. I loved that job. I was compelled to be a firefighter. But I could not afford to be a firefighter if I wasn't getting paid for it. I could not afford to be a full-time professional firefighter on volunteer wages. Likewise, I cannot afford to produce YouTube videos at the pace that I do without being compensated for it. So I know the ads are annoying. I know people get tired of ads. They don't like ads that run mid-video. That is what allows me the freedom to create videos. Without that income, the videos go away and I go back to producing work just for my customers. And while my customers would really appreciate that, you folks in YouTube would not appreciate that so much. So I thank you for your patience putting up with the ads. For those people who've made direct donations, I truly appreciate that. I'm starting to look into some affiliate marketing options that will help offset some of the video cost. And those are nothing more than links down in the video description. So if I present a tool of some sort, I might be able to put a link to it, and if you were interested in buying that tool, you would then be able to click the link, buy the tool. I get $1 or something like that for you buying the tool that way, and you still pay the same price for the tool. But finding affiliate links that I think are appropriate for what I do here on my YouTube channel is really difficult. There are lots of affiliate links for things that aren't really of interest to blacksmiths. I'm sure I could find my favorite wire brush on Amazon and create an affiliate link, and people could buy the wire brush there. I'd get paid for it. But for things like this, I would rather support the small blacksmithing suppliers like PayTool, Blacksmith's Depot, Centaur Forge, and other places that just deal with blacksmiths, and they don't have affiliate links. So I don't know that you'll see a whole lot of that. It's just something I'm looking at to help fund the production cost of the videos and to help compensate me for my time making videos. If you have ever wondered, my time commitment to making videos runs into about 30 hours per week right now. Something else that I'll probably be exploring this year because the channel is really starting to grow. As of today, we are over 36,000 subscribers. Just 9 months ago, I was celebrating 10,000 subscribers. So that is spectacular. That means in maybe 6 months, we'll be at 50,000 subscribers. By the way, when we hit 50,000, we're going to do a really nice giveaway. But anyways, as the channel grows, as I get more views and more watch time, I think there's some potential for some sponsorships, and I'm going to be exploring the possibility of sponsors that you folks would actually be interested in. I don't really need to sponsor website providers or clothing companies or audiobooks or any of that kind of stuff. If I'm going to accept sponsorships or branded deals or any of that kind of stuff, unfortunately, just like affiliate links, a lot of the blacksmithing suppliers just don't have a budget for that kind of thing. But here's the plug. But if you are a blacksmithing supplier, you sell general blacksmithing supplies, specific tooling, or something else of use to the blacksmithing community, and would like to pay for a sponsored video, I would be happy to do that. Exactly what those videos would look like at this point, I can't tell you because I've never really done one. Along with that, I'm also happy to do simple product reviews, as long as they are good quality products that I feel good recommending to the blacksmiths watching this channel. It doesn't do you any good to send me flashlights and headphones and things like that because that's not what this channel is about, and I will not be reviewing products like that on my channel. So I think I've talked way more than enough. This has probably gone on to a 20-minute video by now. Personally, I'm looking forward to the new year. I think there's lots of things to be positive about both here in the shop and for the future of the videos here on Black Bear Forge. We will be exploring lots of topics and projects of interest to the blacksmith in the upcoming months, so I hope you folks stick around for it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are. I hope you enjoyed this little review of the last year and a little look forward into the upcoming year. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't done so already, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. If you would like to support the channel financially, there are links down in the description to make donations. Those are merely donations. The content is free and will remain free. Feel free to stick around, watch a few of the other videos, share the videos with your friends, but then please, by all means, make time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, but stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next one.